So Ken, do you think men are left out of the work-life fit conversation?
Absolutely. I think a lot of the way we talk about work-life fit is in terms of helping working moms, and instead of talking about families and all the people in them, including the men and fathers.
And you had a great study that you guys just put out, the new male mystique. What are some of the data points from that?
Work-life conflict for men has been steadily rising over the years, whereas work-life conflict for women has held pretty stable. We believe that this is because the idea of the ideal man has changed over time so that it includes work and home responsibilities, whereas before it was all about work.
In the organizations where I work, these issues are primarily addressed through the Women's Initiative. So right there, you're broadcasting to all the men in your organization, we don't think you have a life, or you have no trouble managing everything, which really is not true. So here's an interesting thing, woman, child. Yeah, that's okay. That's a valid reason. Let's put a guy in there, a dad, right?
Yep.
I've just seen too many situations where, dude, like, can't somebody else drop your kid off? Like, but, right?
Right.
And that's the horrible, awful first reaction that unfortunately I think a lot of, especially men, get.
Nothing is going to change if men aren't stepping up and saying, yes, I'm the one taking my child to the doctor. And that is my responsibility today. And I, as a man and a father, am going to do it.
What are some ways that you think men can bring up this topic in a way that's productive and is going to get them the best result that they're looking for?
Well, I think the first thing men should do is not bring it up only when there's a problem. Too often we only mention things in our lives when they interfere with work. So your supervisor will start thinking about those things as obstacles. Bring them up when they help you with work, when being with your children or helping out your spouse has invigorated you with a new idea or new perspective. Make sure they know that too, because that will set a stronger foundation for the moments when you have to say, I need some help making this work, or I have an idea on how this can work differently.
There's a great story in Sheryl Sandberg's book, Lean In. She and her husband sit down each week and they map out what they have to get done. They coordinate with each other as to how they're going to fit it all together. And they basically come up with a weekly work-life fit plan. And it's that ongoing planning and dialogue that I think is so important for partners to really find that joint work-life fit that supports each other.
People wait until it's an emergency and then they're stressed and then they make some poor choices or they snap at the person they're trying to ask for help.
So Ken, is it possible to be a leader in an organization if you're a man, a dad, and also find time in your work-life fit for the other parts of your life that are important to you?
Being more conscientious about how you're going to get stuff done, when you're going to get stuff done, and what you need to get stuff done will allow you to make sure that both your personal life and your professional life get the resources they need to succeed.
You have to be willing to talk about work and life. I think that's the other piece. Sometimes leaders are just like, oh, I really talk about work in the workplace. It's like, well, you know, actually work and life are kind of the same. So you really need to have that holistic dialogue for the solutions to happen.